Morning, guys. So I thought of something else. I have a bunch of memories that I can't place a time frame on, or I just forgot to mention. I do remember in Bakuba we started with playing the PlayStation 2, as it happened to be a commodity at the shopette. By we I mean I played through Final Fantasy X twice. The first time on my own, the second time with the game guide, and I got every secret. Thought I might give it another go since I have a computer and an emulator and I still have the original game. So I don't think I can remember all the how-tos. And we went through 3 of them. And one of them made it back home with me, and I think it's actually at my parents' house. Packed away. I really did. Honestly, can't remember if I mentioned that before. The real big thing before the PlayStation was the Game Boy Advance. And it was the Mega Man game where you could play against your friends. That was really popular. We also did some basketball whenever we had hoops, because there was a basketball court outdoor at Camp Cape. I remember Tupper, our resident New Yorker. He was the mechanic for the radar. Jumping around our tent with a 5-pound mallet, smashing ants. I also remember that we would have to tie our boots closed to keep the camel spiders out. Also, we would take a 2-liter bottle, cut it in half. We took single time a scorpion, camel spider, and large army ants. Fight to the death. I honestly can't remember who won. I think it was the camel spider. But those things would walk off with your lunch if you're not careful. Hell, it might walk off with you if you're not careful. Those guys were huge and disgusting. Allergies are still getting me, guys. I'm sorry. I also remember going on a convoy with the chief warrant officer, and having to navigate through a horrible sandstorm. If you didn't have sunglasses or safety goggles, man, you were not driving. And somebody there had a cell phone with an international plan that still had signal. So I was able to call someone. I spoke to them for 30 seconds or so, and then the signal was gone. And then we bought some Pop-Tarts. I think just about everywhere we go, we would buy Pop-Tarts. Doesn't matter what it was. I really like the cinnamon ones. That's probably where I got addicted to them from. Don't have them anymore, but I also remember in our little vacation house in Tikrit, vacation house. It's where we had to go for service and repairs of our radar. We were there for several weeks, I think. There were actually houses that had large, they weren't used, the large water containers above them because they were all gravity fed individually instead of like we have here, gravity fed town-wise or pumped. So we got to stay in there. And we all stayed in the living room, set up our cots there, set up a TV, fan, and our goodies. That's where I tried dip for the first time. And while having a cigarette, so, tobacco. And then more tobacco. It was pleasant on your lungs. Didn't try it again. We, out of the Syrian border, the empty zone that I showed you in a previous video, we set up a target, and that's actually the first time I got to take aim and fire the 249. It was the SAW, the squad automatic weapon. The littlest guy got to carry that thing around. Took just a few pot shots out. Because it was in the middle of nowhere, literally on the Syrian border. And we had to sight on our weapons anyway. So we did. I think that's really about all I've got for you. I mean, that's it. That's all that's coming to my head. So, the end of the bonus material. And I'll see you guys next time. Now, I know at one point we were, stationed in Bakaba, and we were, playing the PlayStation. We needed power, so we had a benzene generator in one of the rooms that we had. It had 2.5 of 3, 4 walls. So there was flow and nobody stayed there anyway. That was just for the generator. One evening, we were refueling, and the nozzle, the spout for the gas can popped off. Poured benzene all over it. It didn't immediately catch, so we reached down to grab the spout, and it caught fire. Now, I felt like I had a sunburn for a couple of days, but Stevens had a little more severe burn on his arm, and we had to evacuate him to the med tent to have that treated. Also, under another situation. Again, me and Stevens working on the power for the TV. At that time, it was a power inverter that was hooked up to our FM TV, which is basically a fancy 5-ton. Looks kind of like a semi. 4 battery setup. Somehow, whenever he was hooking it up, the leads touched. And it shocked him. And by proxy, shocked the nearest person to him. Me. So it was a running joke that me and Stevens were not allowed to be in proximity to each other. Because apparently together we make an accident-prone team. I do not necessarily disagree. It was a pretty good shock. I had to sit down for a couple of minutes, and I can't honestly remember Stevens because I couldn't see for a minute after that. That was fun.